Maasai Mara inalilia usaidizi wako. And here is why. Now, Mother Nature blessed Kenya with the most eye-catching spectacle ever. This is the Maasai Mara National Reserve. The Mara is globally known to experience wild beast migration from Serengeti in Tanzania coming all the way into Kenya. This epic natural spectacle is often characterized by massive herds of wild beasts migrating to Kenya. And it happens every year. This uniqueness in nature is the main reason why it got widely recognized, attracting tourists from across the world. Our tourists wakimwok wanaenda kudos kwa camps and lodges, basically hoteli. Hizi hotels zimejengwa ndani ya reserve, and we have over 150 of them. The main threat in this case are these hotels. Jina moja nataka umark, the Ritz Carlton Marriott Hotel. This hotel is located on the Sun River, which is the actual border between Kenya and Tanzania. Hata kama ni 5-star hotel, this construction is an upset to nature. Why? It's literally been built on a path which the wild beasts have been using for migration since millennia. In case umekuwa kwa online, niko sure umeona vida fulani ya hao wanyama wakikuwa stranded, hawezi cross river kwa sababu gani? Njia imeblokiwa. Picture me, hundreds of wild beasts stranded in the river, hawezi cross. Meanwhile, walami wanafanya nini? Wanawarecord. This is very shameful and an absolute threat to our wildlife, because let me tell you something. One thing about animals is that they are highly intelligent. So hata ukiwafungia nje ya leo, kesho watatumia njia nyingine. Lakini common sense, haja gani tupoteze one of the wonders of the world juu tu tunataka kujenga malojo? Kausha experience tourism, you know that wildlife is worth conserving because it's priceless. I wish more people learned that there has to be a sustainability element in every business that we do, especially if we're talking long term. Pesa si kila kitu. Tukiamka next year, tupate wild beasts as migrate to Kenya anymore. There's no amount of money that can buy that epic moment back. We will lose our nature, which automatically means tutapoteza hao watalii. 10 years ago, wild beast migration would last 3 to 4 months. This year, it barely lasted a month. Mara is not in safe hands. And as a Kenyan, you can't afford to be silent. Dr. Metamei alienda kotini juzi with concrete evidence to challenge NEMA over this case. Daktari alituashua that will provide sufficient evidence to prove that there was no due process followed before the construction of this hotel, which only makes sense because no way you can tell me that cutting down trees that take more than 100 years to grow makes sense just because you want to build a hotel. Money can never buy nature. Nature is home, and home must be conserved and respected. All of this is happening while your favorite MP anachant nini? Nikubad.
Part 2, Ritz Carlton. Could someone please clarify to me where the whole country was when Ritz Carlton was being built? And most importantly, Narok County, your chiefs, your governor, your senators, your MPs, your MCAs, the locals, where were they when the Ritz Carlton was being built? I have to play the devil's advocate, because why is it now that we are being so vocal and so loud about the Ritz Carlton? Who gave these approvals? Why wasn't it stopped in the initial stages or during groundbreaking? Why is it that we are making noise now? Stay tuned for part 3. Salam.
Boycott the Marriott group of hotels and tell them to get the hell out of the Mara. The audacity of the Marriott group of hotels, together with other international developers and the Kenyan government, to put a gag order on this man, Dr. Ololdapash, a respected indigenous Maasai elder, environmentalist and conservationist. They put a gag order on him because he took them to court, accusing them of breaking environmental law, indigenous laws, moral laws, by building a Ritz Carlton right on the Mara River, disrupting migratory patterns of all of the animals. The wildebeests, the elephants are in distress, the gazelles, the giraffes, all of this Maasai heritage, African heritage. The Maasai are the people who have been the keepers and protectors of these lands, and now they are the enemy. Marriott group of hotels has to pay the price. Put a review under any and all of these hotels. Tell them to get the hell out of the Mara and leave these indigenous communities alone. This corporate greed A change.org petition exists. Go and sign it. Go and read up on the story. Go and understand the ins and outs. There are many ways that we can do this, but international pressure has to be put, public pressure has to be put on these developers to get out of the Mara, to pay back what they have already taken away from these communities, and to repair the environmental damage that they've already caused. Indigenous people have taken care of and sustained these lands for millennia. That is how come we can enjoy witnessing one of the greatest wonders of the world in the Great Migration, a delicate balance of nature coming to disrupt it by building a garish hotel in the middle of the Sun River. It is unbelievable. These people have to be stopped.
The fight between Maasai elders and the Marriott Corporation is far from over, so here are the updates on the case. So TLDR, the Marriott Corporation under the Ritz Carlton subsidiary tried to build a camp in Maasai Mara. Now, when that camp was built, there's allegations that there wasn't a proper environmental assessment conducted before construction, and now that it's built, it's actively blocking the path for many animals on the Great Migration. There was a hearing on November 12th, even after Marriott tried to stop it and bring it to a settlement. But unfortunately, the activists in charge of the movement have been legally gagged, as Marriott finally had enough evidence that the lawsuit and the alleged misconduct that they're talking about is hurting their business. Now, Marriott is doing their absolute best to sweep this under the rug, so let's not let them. Let's have conversations with our friends and family about this. You can also avoid staying at Marriott properties altogether if you'd like, and of course, make sure to comment, save, like, share, do everything you can to push videos about this out on the algorithm so that as many people learn about this as possible. Now, it's not clear when the next trial is going to be held or what exactly that court appearance is going to look like, but as things start to continue to take shape, I'll be back with regular updates so that we can all stay informed about this really important case.
You know, I tell you, they should never allow this camp here on the crossing side. Look at this.
This is for entertainment purposes only. So, the Maasai community, the Maasai nation, are actually suing Ritz Carlton. They've taken them to court to have their luxury camp that they built in Maasai Mara on the major corridor, migratory corridor of the elephants, the wildebeest, the giraffes, the zebras, all the animals basically, to have it demolished. And there's been so much backlash. Of course, the Ritz Carlton is playing nasty. They've been doing a lot, paying a lot of, because corruption is king in Kenya. They're just paying a lot of guys, allegedly, to delay the court case and everything like that. And now, to add insult to injury, they've actually sent their lawyers to court to issue a gag order to the Maasai elder who's actually been creating a lot of knowledge and alerting the world as to what is happening. It's so shameful that 60-something years after independence, we're still fighting for our rights. We're still fighting to protect our animals. The famous wildebeest migration, which people have been, it's one of the wonders of the world. It's like, just like the Taj Mahal and all these things. It's one of the wonders of the world, recognized by UNESCO or whichever UN organization, where people come, millions of people come from all over the world to witness. In their great wisdom, this colonial hotel decided that they were going to put a luxury camp right in the middle of the corridor. It's like someone building a camp right in the middle of the highway, of Thika Highway or something, so that they can observe how Kenyans move up and down and how traffic is. colonial mentality, man. Colonial mentality. You can't enjoy the wildebeest migration like the others. And guess what? To stay at this luxury Ritz Carlton camp, you have to pay $3,500 a night. So it's not even about Kenyans. It's even out of the reach of the majority of Africans. So this is another neo-colonial mentality and neo-colonial move. Like, how do you come and put a camp right in the middle of the migratory, corridor of millions of wildebeest? It's disgusting. I just need to know, how do we participate in this lawsuit? How do we give our Maasai family support? But anyway, as I keep saying, family, Africa is changing. Kenya is rapidly transforming. And all these things that have been done illegally or with the aid of corruption are soon going to come to an end. And at Ritz Carlton, they can delay justice today, they can delay justice tomorrow. But soon and very soon, it will be demolished. I mean, I'll even add a picture here where you see elephants. The roads they've been using for hundreds of thousands of years is now blocked. And they're going around this building and they put like concrete structures and everything. They're going around the building like, yo, where do we pass? Unbelievable and so disgusting.